I was commissioned to write an essay for a Vigil for the National Endowment for the Arts back in March of last year, and it was very cold, so nobody came. And so there was just like 12 of us reading poems in a building. And it's nice to be able to read it again. This is called To Be Read Aloud at a Vigil for the National Endowment for the Arts at Trump Tower on March 15th, 2017. There are several theories that attempt to explain the invention of money, and all of them are dipped in blood. The one that makes the most sense is that money was invented as a system for tracking debt, the movement of goods between men. A man gives another man a horse and in exchange some kind of paper. Aristotle says every object has two uses, the purpose for which it was originally designed and the value it has when traded. There are several theories that attempt to explain the invention of written language, and the one that makes the most sense to me is tied to debt, is dipped in blood. A man gives another man a horse, and there it is, alive in ink on paper, is a metaphor you fold and keep in your pocket. I have several theories that attempt to explain the invention of arts grants, and all of them are tied to debt, tied to the guilt a country inherits facing its history of pillage, facing the impossible horror of its own wealth. A man takes its country, its money, its horses, and expects to be forgiven without giving up shit, and here we are, having to exist in the yuck of it, in a world that does not know how to assign a poem its proper horse. I've done all kinds of things for money. Slang coffee, guarded a fence, taught scansion, and there was this one time I sucked dick for $60. I was trying to get to Houston to read poems in the basement of a punk house for an even smaller amount of money. A mouth has two uses, the purpose for which it was originally designed, and the value it has when traded. Thus, his hips bucked once, and suddenly, a full tank of gas. My pockets alive with animals, a metaphor for horsepower. I write about this often, how I hoed for poetry. Later, I received a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts for a collection, including some writing about sucking that dick, and suddenly the value of my mouth exploded. Hosanna. My currency multiplied. Now, a government-approved throat. In that same packet, though, an elegy for my dead ex-boyfriend, even though he hated me. Still, I made his body alive again on paper, made it dance for coins, traded his body for sandwiches, for rent. I've got a government-approved sadness. I've got a government-approved debt. I've got a government who wants my loved ones filled with bullets, filling prisons. It's sick how money is always disturbing the dead, always making our lives declare their value against the price of oil, but still you have to pay to live. My family had to pay to be smuggled out from the burning charnel house of Russia, and this is how I'm here. A man gives another man a horse who gallops the fuck away. There's an alternative theory of language that suggests it was invented to approach the ineffable, touch God, give shape to what by its nature is priceless. You, alive in my arms again, all my family, blood or otherwise, around the same table, good, clean water. Every poem I have ever written is trying to get closer to the people I have lost, and is failing.